Hi everyone, my name is Suresh. We have been seeing the basics of Vagrant in this series of tutorials. Today we are going to see a concept called provisioning. What is provisioning? Provisioning is nothing but installing softwares into a machine which is already up and running. Let's assume that I would like to have a web server that's going to run my application. Um, so what we have seen so far, we have just spun up a virtual machine that has a base OS. In our case, it's Ubuntu. Uh, I would like to provision Apache server in my virtual machine. Let's see how can we do that. Before that, let me check the status of my project folder. Uh, and yes, I can see that my Vagrant machine is up and running. Uh, Now let me get into my Vagrant machine. So manually I can provision. I just do SSH and get into my virtual machine. There I am. And I can check in Ubuntu. We use apt get utility to install or manage packages. In our case, I'm going to install Apache. So before installing Apache, I just update the packages. Let me do this. This is going to take some time. I'll come back once it is done. So once I've finished updating the apt-get or all the packages, let me now install Apache. Yeah, you have to use sudo, and you have to just continue installing all the dependency packages. Okay, so now we have installed Apache. By default, the Apache document root would be here. Let's confirm whether that has got installed or not. Yeah, you can see that the default root file, index file, is kept in this document root. Hmm. Let's confirm whether it is running or not. Yeah, you can see, I get the output from that index file. That means this is Apache by default it runs on port 80. So when I try to call localhost on 80, it just gives me the output. So this is running. So this is how you are going to manually provision the required packages in your virtual machine. If you have one or two packages, then this is fine, you can manage it very well. But if you have a lot of packages, that's the case usually. If you have more packages, then what you do, you just write down all the packages in your readme file or gist. Then whenever you want to install in any environment, or you want to set up this virtual machine in any environment, you are going to refer that file, then install these packages manually. That's difficult. You might miss some configurations, you might miss some packages. That's going to mess up your environment. Then it's going to be difficult to find out, or you are going to spend more time to find out why it doesn't work. So manually provisioning is not an option all the time. It's always good to provision automatically. That's what we are going to do now. And one more thing I would like to let you know is that if this virtual machine is destroyed, the packages whatever you have installed in this virtual machine will also be gone. So you don't maintain that state anywhere. So how are we going to automate this provisioning? Uh, Vagrant gives a lot of options, and there are configuration management tools available online, and Vagrant supports a lot of tools like that. Let me go here and show you. what it is. Yeah, if you go here, to the official document, official website, then you can see Vagrant supports Ansible, Chef, then Puppet, Docker, Salt. So these all are called provisioners. Um, Provisioner is a tool which is going to be used for provisioning your software in the virtual machine. Okay, in our example, we will just see a couple of them, like Shell and Chef. Rest of them you can go here and read about it. It's pretty much simple. And so let's see how are we going to automatically provision software in our virtual machine. Let me get out of this virtual machine first, and let me destroy, so that the packages whatever I have installed manually would also be destroyed. So we'll start from the beginning. I just need to say yes. Yeah, it will destroy everything. Now get into my Vagrant file. This Vagrant file is in the same state as we started, so you can see here. Let me expand that pane. So there are now we are going to provision Apache using shell provisioner, right? There are two ways you can use this shell commands. One is you can create a file and add all your shell script into that file, then include that file in the Vagrant, which would be the neater solution or neater option. Otherwise, you can directly add all your shell script into this Vagrant file. I think that if there are more scripts, then it's going to be a little bit messy. It's going to be difficult to maintain. But still, we would. I would just show how it looks like. Um, Go to this bottom of this file, and you can see these lines. I just uncommented what these lines are telling. We are going to use a shell provisioner, and we are going to use inline shell script. So it's very simple, and there's like a here doc in Ruby. Mm. You can see I'm just using the same commands as what I have used while provisioning manually, except I'm not giving sudo here. Mm. You don't need to give sudo because the Vagrant is going to run this script as a root user, so it's already taken care. And I'm doing the same, just two commands. Okay, let me save this file and go to my project folder, the same folder, and let me run this Vagrant up, and just wait. It would do everything whatever we have seen, and also it will try to install Apache, while it will provision Apache uh, after the server is after the machine is up. Now our virtual machine is up and running. Let's get into the virtual machine and check whether the Apache is installed or not. There you go. So you can see that Apache is up and running in the virtual machine. Now we have automatically provisioned Apache in our virtual machine in our environment using inline shell provisioner. And let's try using an external file with the same shell provisioner. Let's get rid of this virtual machine and go to my Vagrant file. You can see here I have already added this command that you have to add it manually, but I have added it already. This time I'm actually telling the provisioner is shell. At the same time, I'm giving a name for this provisioner. Okay. Then and here I say path. It's not an inline. Inline we have already seen it. This is how we are going to use the external file, and the external file name is provision.sh. Let's see what I have got in the file. Okay, I don't have that file here, and let me create that file, and let me open that file. Now I have just opened the shell script file, and this time using this file I'm gonna install a different software. So I would like to install Git in my virtual machine. So let me add that command. I already have it, so let me copy it to make it faster. So this is just simple shell script. I'm just trying to install Git in my virtual machine. Now let's go here. Let me start from the beginning. So let me destroy the virtual machine. So this is going to make sure that I okay, so I cannot use this here for now. Let's keep it empty, and let me destroy the virtual machine. Let me do Vagrant up here. So this is going to pick up the new configurations. In our case, we are trying to install Git in the virtual machine. Let's wait and see. I'll come back once it is done. Okay, so now we have uh, spun up our virtual machine. Let's get into the virtual machine and check whether the Git is installed or not. You can see this Git is already installed in this virtual machine. So not only Git installed in this machine, uh, we have installed Apache as well. We can see that here. So you get 200. So the Apache which we are trying to provision through inline commands, that is also installed, and the Git which we are trying to install with an external file using shell provisioner, that is also installed. So this is how you install or your provision packages using shell provisioner. Let's see now the chef a way of doing things. Like as I said before, there are more configuration management tools, and now we are going to see one of them, which is chef. Let me get out of this virtual machine, and let me destroy the virtual machine. Okay, let me get into my Vagrant file. I have already added this command over here, so you need to add this one manually. What I'm trying to say here is that the provisioner is chef solo. So chef has another way to provide the configuration, which is client server model. So what you do usually, you run the client in your machine and try to get the configuration values from the server. Uh, uh, you can read about it, from here. You can go to chef.io and you can read all the things, but today I'm gonna just uh, show you, how we can use chef solo. That means the configuration would be stored locally and we can read it from there. And so we have something like this run list, and we are giving the folder name. Usually what happens, the folder would be read from the root folder, which is actually the project folder. In our case, that's Vagrant. um, then it will look for the cookbook. What I'm going to do now, I will just create those folders. Refresh. So the folders are created here. That's called cookbooks. Inside cookbooks we have a Vagrant book. Then inside we have recipes. We don't have any recipes right now. Recipe is nothing but those configurations. We don't have anything as such. We would be creating in a moment. um, so what this command which we have added inside this Vagrant file would do, it will look for cookbooks folder in the root. Then it will go and find a Vagrant book folder. Inside it will try to find the recipes. Um let's create configurations. So here it's going to be a Ruby configuration file. So let me create a default .rb, and let me open that file. Let me close this shell file. Now I need to add my configurations here. So this time using chef configurations, I would like to install node server in my virtual machine. So I already have uh, these commands in my buffer copied. Let me paste it. So this is also simple. Like if you look at the commands, it's just simple. It uses this execute. Then all other commands are same what we have used uh, in the virtual machine in Ubuntu environment. So here I'm just trying to install a Node.js uh, module in my virtual machine. So now let me I think I have destroyed it. Let me check the status. Yeah, it's not yet created. So now let me do Vagrant up. This is going to create a virtual machine with Apache, Git, and Node.js installed in it. Let's wait. Once it is done, we'll get into the machine and check whether Node.js is installed or not. I'll come back once it is done. So now it has started the virtual machine. Let's get into the virtual machine and check if it has installed Node.js. You can see Node.js is installed, and you can check the Git is also installed, and you can check the Apache is running or not. See, that's also installed and running. So if you look at this one, we are using two provisioner. One is shell and another one is chef. So one of the features of Vagrant is that you can run multiple provisioners in the same project, which is cool. This is how you would provision your required softwares into a virtual machine in Vagrant. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again later.